Welcome back, everybody, to ASRNZ BTCC Series Round 6 at Croft. This is the main game, the 40-minute race. The boys just counting down the final few seconds of practice before we go into quali here. Just waiting for good mate Farmer to come back and join me. And as we speak, here he is.
We're
Farmer,
back. Welcome, viewers. Welcome.
We are both back now. Just watching qualifying here, mate. It's just ticked over. Just got an F7 on the pit lane here. Just watching a few of the boys roll out.
Sorry about that, buddy. The wife intervened there. Got a little bit caught out.
Oh, well, it's not a bad thing depending on what was going on, but this is G-rated, so we'll just leave it right there.
Yes.
Just pick up on Ashley Vediger's Alfa Romeo, the sexy little Italian taxi here.
Oh, we do love our sexy Italians, Davo.
As he just rounds the final series of corners here. Very tricky little complex of corners. Mate Ash did really well, just staying on the tail of Kenny for a third position. First race. Farmer, outstanding job. Hasn't been up the pointy end of the field. He's had a tough series.
What's he got for us?
He rolls across. I think this is his first flyer.
That must have been his outlap, yes.
Yeah, okay. So we're just picking up on him very sideways.
Big sideways moment there at the one.
Fantastic to watch these cars.
He gathers it up through the chicanes, but
very
it's got
nice.
to have hurt him. Surely it's got to hurt his time straight away.
You'd expect so. Just those few hundredths of a second that he's got to stay off the throttle to get it back together is ever important, and it will count down the end into Tower Bend there. But now, as you see in this flat section through Jim Clark S's right down the back into Barcroft. Seriously fast section of track there, Farmer.
Oh, absolutely. Super committed. Make sure you hit your marks through there.
Oh, absolutely.
In and out. This is the bit that catches me out, Davo. It's super fast. It's flat out into here, but then the direction change
is tight.
The sharp, tight, friggin' right-hander there. And then
double apex.
Yes. Weird sort of corner into a super tight
very,
left-hander there for the final.
Tight. Very tight hairpin.
A lot of time to be made there.
Let's see where Ashley gets the Alpha with a 24-0.
That's actually very good,
nice.
Dave. We've only got a 97% track there. So that's a great time there from Ashley, actually, and probably a bit of confidence there coming after race one for our old mates.
Oh, I think so. I think he drove really well. Ash, there's not much he could do, and he said that himself, and sat in behind Melling and just played it as it came. But Kenny was quick, so I'm sure that helped Ash just pace himself off.
Yes.
Somebody who was maybe a little bit quicker than himself on the night there. So Melling coming across.
Melling there as he goes for 25 flat, so a full second off Ash's pace.
Big gap.
Stone is also with a 25.3, Bear with a 25.3. Kenny we've got out on track, just about to come across the line. With a 24.8, so that's a great time from Ashley.
Mate, that is an exceptional time from Ashley so far. Provisional pole, I just picked up on Aspie. Locking
big
it.
Lock up there, mate, yes.
Look, I thought I was looking at Kenny's car there for a second.
A lot of smoke out the back of Pete's car there.
Mate, haven't they got the front ends dialed in on these things to have the backs coming up so high like that to lock up? They must have the front ends nicely soft so that they tip into these quicker corners. easy.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, exactly.
really
Dave,
wide
mate.
line.
Yeah, not a great line through the final turn there.
No,
but we'll
not
see
ideal.
what he comes across with. And he's just on his outlap there, so we won't get too excited, mate. Just watching Gil Branson as well. Behind him is about to start his hot lap as well. So possibly just keep an eye on Pete at the moment, mate.
I think so.
Oh, takes a good chunk of the chicanes there.
And smooth though, like it didn't look like it hopped too much on him, so he wasn't all over it, and didn't lose anything from it. Tricky, very bumpy corner tower bend there, unbelievably bumpy.
It is.
Bumpy on the way in, bumpy mid corner, bumpy on the way out. You're guaranteed it's going to be sketchy, and then into this super quick back section. Croft, sunny in out.
Yeah, nice and tidy.
Oh, it looked like he was stretching the front end there as he come out of it, sunny out and into the final complex here. Oh, we keep saying, but every time I watch one of these boys come through, it's such a difficult little section of track. It may not look like it on screen, but to drive it, very difficult little section of track to get
very
fast.
Difficult. Possibly not making the most of the final turn there, David.
No,
he had a little bit of track on the outside of him there.
He looked like he had plenty, but we've got a 24.9 to put him in front of Melling.
Is that Gil Branson? 24.8 there in the background. And who's that coming through behind him? Enright just starting his... oh no, this is hot lap, 24.3 for Enright. Now we saw Enright with pole in the first race, mate, so...
There you go, Hawkins, the next car across the line. I think he's, 25.7 for Hawkins. So we got McDonald. And Galeno, race 1 winner to come across yet. I think these boys will be just going, oh no, there's McDonald.
McDonald to P3,
24.6, meh. But good enough to put him on the second. Galeno now, final complex of corners. This will round out qualifying for the main game, the 40-minute race.
Looking very tidy too, Davo.
Yeah, smooth as silk. He did say the car's on point. It's not doing anything wrong.
Just like that.
Bam.
Oh,
how close?
How close is that? Is that 200ths of a second there, mate?
That is 200.
Wow. Great lap there from Glenn to put it on pole. Glenn and Ashley both with 24 flats there on the front row.
Impressive stuff.
Yeah, real impressive, mate. Enright and McDonald on P3 and 4 there on row 2. Kenny and Ryan Gilbranson there on row 3. We've got Pete Espy and Steve Malling on row 4. Bear Grylls and Stoners, mate, way back in 10 there. Normally a great qualifier from Stoners.
Stoner well back.
Max Hawkins, Troy,
I think's just ducked into the server just now.
Okay, and then Racing Mule and the Volvo, mate, who we were kind of rooting for a little bit to go the Volvo.
We're still rooting for the Volvo. 25.3 for the Volvo. Obviously, Racing Mule just coming to grips with that car and possibly the whole genre of racing. Definitely different to, like what he's known in the past. So
possibly got a check engine light or something on there in the Volvo, Davo.
Well, they're known for it.
Quite a common fault there.
And mate, you want to take that one off to the dealer because
if you've got an OB2 computer machine there, you'll certainly be plugging that into it enough times.
Oh mate, yes. And it'll cost you every time you drive past that bloody Volvo dealership. You only got to drive past the bastard, it costs you 500.
Oh, and look at this front 2 rows, Davo. Just Italian taxis.
It's all Alpha. Then we got Vectra and Mondeo. It's a 3-make series at the moment. We do have a splattering of Volvos, Renaults, and VTECs down the back.
We do. And we must remember to get that VTEC and that Volvo off the grid,
Oh,
buddy,
yeah.
when this race does click in.
Couple of spare cars there.
We like to keep them on their toes.
We do. It wouldn't be the same without it.
Track grip has gone up too, buddy. As the lights come up, we're at 99% track grip.
99% track grip for race 2, the 40-minute race in round 6 at Croft, ASRNZ BTCC's Let's Go Racing. Gleno gets a healthy start.
Glenn, was it? Excellent start from Gleno.
Gil Branson also in the Mondeo on the inside. They're nearly four wide. Oh!
We've got McDonald going backwards, mate. McDonald going backwards. Gil Branson, I think. No, that's Stoner's there as well.
Cars.
Oh, I'm not sure what happened there.
Cars.
Certainly McDonald came out worse off there, buddy. Gil Branson right up into P3. Ashley, we've got Glenn, Ashley, Ryan.
Have you got the VTEC off the grid, brother?
Yeah, we're getting the VTEC off the grid as we speak, buddy. Thank you very much for that. Boys will be happy that we've got a clear run out of the final turn.
They do. As we see him run through Clark here, Melling, the two, it's Hawkins, Bear Grylls, Troy, Stoners, McDonald, unfortunately got tangled up. We've got something else.
We've got Ashley going backwards, buddy. Backwards a lot.
He's way back. He's out in the tyres.
He has.
Down in Barcroft.
Oh, unfortunate for Ashley there. I'm not sure what happened, mate, but a hell of a scene there.
We've clearly missed something there, whether it was a mistake from Vettiger by himself. Easily done down there. You only need a little bit of a hip and shoulder and you're out in the grass and there's nowhere to go. Just watch this bunch of cars. It's the Melling, Hawking, Bear Grylls, Troy, Stoners.
Oh, yeah, God, isn't it all on lap 1 there, mate? All the boys really with the elbows out, pushing for every little bit of real estate on track there.
Absolutely, very difficult to know where to focus with these cars. We try and keep an eye on the top couple of rows, but we also want to be about halfway down the pack where all the action is. Things could just turn in a blink of an eye, Farmer.
Oh, mate. Yeah, we've seen John McDonald, we've seen Ashley, two front runners, mate, that were up there.
Two of the front runners, we just see Racing Mule disconnecting from the server.
No, is that right? Our Volvo, mate, our only chance.
Our only chance.
He's out of here.
So unfortunate for Carlo there, obviously having some issues.
Obviously that check engine light proving to be too much of an issue.
Mate, you know what they're like.
I know, I do, mate, I tell you.
Bloody hell.
It's probably the airflow sensor. One of the most common faults there.
It is.
I'll hook them up. I've got a few spares.
Let's see if we can even get it started. Find out. Yes, the 850R retiring, but unfortunately, you probably wonder what we're going on about. Both Farmer and I have both owned Volvos in the past. I don't know, late 80s, early 90s Volvos, and even at that age, they're problematic and very expensive to run. Fantastic cars, but
yes, fantastic cars. And they do say the slogan is Volvos for life, and I think it's nightmares for life, Dave, over the amount of times you have to plug your OBD2 connector into it to see what the fault is.
Yes. It's never ending. It's a never ending battle.
But we do love the heated seats that do continuously work in the Volvo.
Yes, the heated seats, the misting rear view mirrors. The windscreen wipers on the headlights.
On the headlights, oh, exactly.
If that's not a party trick, I don't know what is.
Oh, I love it. So just checking in on what's happening here. Glenn's starting to clear out in front there, mate. We've got Aaron Enright in second there, nearly 2.7 seconds behind. Kenny, again, showing good pace. Ryan Branson is up there this time on the back of Kenny in fourth. Steve Melling in the Renault coming through in fifth. We've got our new guy, Max Hawkins there, showing a solid effort, mate. Yeah, he's in there. Bears in there this time. Troy's up there in the VTEC. Stoners is back in the field. McDonald is back in the field. Ashley has gone back in the field. And Pete Aspie is also, I think, gone back too, mate, from his qualifying. So a little bit of a mix-up there. A couple of those boys will probably come through later on in this race. We do have 35 minutes to go, so a long way.
We do. It is a long way. It is a long way in these things. Obviously, throughout the series, there's been this, you know, back and forth with the fuel issues. You know, sometimes they'll make it, sometimes they won't. Some of the boys can fuel safe better than others, depending on what's going on. And then there's obviously the tyre issue. Front-wheel drive cars, they burn up the rubber on the fronts. So it's the 40 minutes race is a stretch for these cars.
Yes, it is a stretch, Davo. And like you say, these cars are knowing. What have we got, bud?
Oh, just Troy, just getting it sideways
Troy
there.
Backwards, yes.
And getting a back guard on the one of the tyre bundles there and surviving it. Just noticed that McDonald's actually slipped past him in the process, which has put him right on the back of Stoners there. Now, McDonald came off early in lap 1. He will be trying to get back some credibility in this race. He'll want to get back up a little bit. We have someone. Oh no, that's okay.
Yeah, McDonald with the lights blazing, mate, right behind Stoners there, putting up immense pressure on Stoners, and that won't go away anywhere soon, mate.
That won't go unnoticed from Stoner. He will see that Alpha in the rear view as they just drop into tower here. This bumpy, and Stoners has run wide.
Who's that in front of them, David? There's big grills just up ahead there, just a couple of car lengths in front of them. So
it is in one of the other Mondeo.
Yeah, and he will play into this, as these boys will probably catch up to the back of here.
You would expect so. Both look like they have a little bit more pace on than the Bear Grylls Mondeo. And I don't think it's going to be long before that he does play into this Farmer as they come down to this final complex of corners. They're raging up on him very quickly.
They are. And Bear, very hard to see on his screen with so many apps there, but he does manage to keep it on track.
Yeah, well, he can see the track through all that stuff. You know, if he just sort of squints a little bit and a little bit off to the left there. As we see McDonald, Stoners, and Bear Grylls.
Bear doing a good job there,
Bear
mate,
is actually doing a good job at the moment.
And obviously able to see through the amount of apps on his screen at the moment. Holding his own. I can't help but feel he's going to crack under pressure there, Dave, at some stage. I hope he doesn't.
We hope he doesn't, but we've seen it before as the boys just run down into tower there. Tricky little part of the track. Very bumpy.
Pressure from Stoners here as he has a look
Stoner has a good look.
I think he's going to get him, Davo.
And it's all on.
And the Mondi boys parading off the side of the track there, or whatever it's called. Not tidy, not ideal, and not
tidy
great
at all.
That's so unfortunate for these boys.
And it was on.
It was on, and I'd hate to think what's going on up there between the two of those drivers on the comms.
There might be some choice words being exchanged, you expect there, Farmer?
Possibly Stoners there, maybe shaded by the apps on Bear's screen. Me, mate, no knowing what was quite going on, but real unfortunate stuff. And it has let John McDonald slip back through into P7 there.
P7 there. Yeah, nice work from Jono there. Unfortunate start to his race, but look, a consummate professional really, John. He'll just put his head down and you know, where he ends up is where he ends up. It's
yeah, well, we know that John Boy very good at fuel saving, and he's possibly thinking about that process right now.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
The rest of the field in front of him could very well be pitting for either fuel and or tyres.
Okay,
So,
well, Stoner has just run through the pits. I'm not sure whether he
okay.
actually pitted or whether he just ran through for a drive-through. So that's one to keep an eye out for. I just missed that.
Don't have any data on
no,
what
on pit
he
stops.
has done that for. Yeah, unfortunately.
So just going back to the McDonald, taking advantage of a few little slip-ups there in and around the front of that car, and put himself back in 7th position. Now, the next position in line to him is the new guy, Max Hawkins. As we just see, just quickly, the VTEC actually coming into the pits.
Yes, we do there. Troy there just slipping in for what looks like a scheduled stop there from Troy. And I wonder if our info there tells us that Troy's added 8 litres of fuel and has not taken on any tyres. So quite clearly we know that the VTEC needs extra fuel to make it on this 40-minute stint. So that gives us a little bit of heads up that probably most of the field will need some sort of gas there.
Yeah.
So,
well, we've heard anything from 2 to 4 litres. You just called it there. What was it? 8 litres.
8 litres for Troy, yeah, mate.
So just a little, make sure he's got a guaranteed amount of fuel in it. As we just watch out of the front of Melling's cars, he ranges back onto the back of Gil Branson. Now, these guys could quite possibly be distracted with fuel and pit stop procedures, and just wonder whether one of these two guys is going to duck in. No, they don't.
Quite interesting there, Davo, because only a lap ago, Gil Branson was right up behind the back of Kenny there, and he's
dropped well back.
Slipped well back from that into the sort of grasp of Steve-O's Renault there. Lost a good couple of seconds, so possibly an excursion off track there for Gil Branson that we may have missed.
Yes.
He was showing great pace early on. Good to see our new guy too, mate. Max Hawkins there, still up in 6th place.
Yeah, Matt's doing a cracking job in race 2 here so far, as he rounds Tower there and runs into this fast section. He does have McDonald, the next car behind him. He'd want to keep his head down because McDonald will come quickly.
And Ashley as well, another good front
runner.
Well, both of them, great pace.
And they'll both mean business as we watch Max run wide down into Bancroft, Barcroft and Sunny Inn. Runs out. These are the little mistakes. This is the little niggly things that creep into your game, hasn't it, Farmer?
Oh, you don't need that, mate. Now all of a sudden he's going to be focused on that rear vision mirror even more than he was.
Yes, as we watch him round this hairpin now, do any of them duck in? Everyone stays out.
Everyone carries on, mate. Everyone carries on. And really, I think really you've got to wait and see where your fuel's at halfway, see what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
As we see both those Alphas really taking a
really
lot.
wide.
Oh, and who's that behind there? Is that Ashley there? Just hell of a scene through Hawthorne there before the chicane.
Yeah, he just struggled with the change of direction there, didn't he? And he's literally doubled his gap between McDonald's car there because of it.
Great strong drive from Ashley tonight. He's still coming back into play there. We've seen these guys have a bit of an excursion off earlier. They will be moving forward, and it'll be interesting to see whether they can catch the likes of Melly, Gil Branson, who are a good sort of 6-7 seconds up the field in front of them. They've still got 25 minutes to race, so
yeah, plenty of racing to go on yet. As we just focus on the start-finish line. Glenn runs across the line. Enright, Kenny really close behind him. Gil Branson and Melling, these guys have been inseparable for the last 4 or 5 laps. And here comes the battle.
Hawkins, McDonald, and
Donald
Ashley.
yes.
It is on there, and I just wonder what the background behind our mate Hawkins is there, whether he's come from the iRacing breed there, perhaps an R-Factor driver. Certainly he has got a lot of racecraft there. You don't just turn up at ASRNZ and do this well without any experience behind you, buddy.
No, even with a short field like we have tonight, you do not find yourself in front of the, Donald slipped past him, so...
And he's given him a lot of room there,
Max.
Davo, but Ashley's managed to also slip through as well. And
yeah, I wonder whether Max just gave these boys a little bit of space, being a latecomer to the series. Obviously, the two alphas in front of him is Max gets a third.
And he's gathered it back up though. Well done to Maxie to save that hell of a scene he had there.
He's in the drift server, in the front wheel drive. Done well to gather that up, but I just wonder whether being a latecomer to the series has shown some respect to the two boys actually chasing points and allow them to slip past.
Yes, and kudos to him if he has done that, having a sharp head on him there, realising that he has come in at round 6 in the championship and those two boys were up there in the front running for points.
Absolutely. Now we'll just shoot back to. We're just watching Gleno there shooting through tower. We'll duck back through the field here.
Enrod's still on him there, bud.
And Kenny, they're close, and I reckon Gleno's fuel saving.
I think you're right, mate, because we saw Gleno. We're nearly coming up to the halfway mark of with 3 minutes out from 20-minute race. Glenn was 8 seconds in the lead in the first race by this point, so clearly only 2.4 in front of these guys now. He's got to be fuel saving, David.
I would say so.
Yeah, and we did have a little bit of a heads up there from Glenn in our interview that he was going to attempt to fuel save, so interesting to see if he can get that home, because it doesn't look like a lot of the boys are going to be able to do that.
No, and he was one of the ones that was only talking that it was going to be 2 odd laps of fuel that he needed for his stop, where some were talking 4. I know it's only small increments, but it all adds up when you're sitting on the jacks in the pits, as we just watched the boys run through this first complex at corners. Melling, McDonald, Vediger wide, really wide. Also with Hawkins even wider into one, as the tyres clearly are going through a transition period and the boys just dealing with that. Enright trying to hold Kenny out. Kenny ranging up behind Enright now, really applying the pressure. Get in front of Kenny's car. Let's look from the driver's seat of
let's
Ken's
get
car.
into Kenny's car, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, nice smooth wheel work
Very
there. Through Sunny in and out there as we come into this final little back section, which they've named the complex.
It is the complex.
Just to keep it simple there. Bit of change of direction.
Kenny nicely hugging the left-hand side so he gets the good transition into the change of direction. Really tidy line.
Yeah, and no real sort of wild wheel work going on inside that car too. Very nice and smooth.
Yeah, holding third position. Again, he'd be happy to be on the podium at this stage of the race, and if he can just keep his head, he will be there at the end.
And perhaps this little section here is probably Kenny's little weakness, so he's once again kept it very tidy through there. Nice exit through the chicanes. Got a little run on in right down here, but nothing's going to come of it, obviously. But good pressure from Kenny. In through Tower Bend there, mate. Nice apex from Eddie.
Oh, from both.
Aaron Enright there.
Very
a little
quick.
bit wild. Ranging right up onto the back of him here, mate. Flat out through these chicanes.
Oh,
Flat out through
this
Barcroft.
such a dangerous braking area. We've seen multiple different drivers come off down there into Croft tonight already. Very tricky stuff. Enright dealing with the pressure that's being applied by Simpson. Really well done. Not to take any light away from what's actually going on in the background there. The Gil Branson Melling fight. Now, Melling, a very measured driver. He will not stick his nose out in that Renault. We know that. He will wait for the mistake.
Yes, Steve-O will wait for the mistake. Steve-O's won the Nice Guy Award for about the last 5 years in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
always there or thereabouts, but always just outside the podium, Dave.
He is. He's always up in the points. Super consistent. But yeah, absolutely Mr. Nice Guy. Always very measured drive from Melling. These two battles here, second, third, fourth, fifth, it's on. It's just duck back to the McDonald, Ashley Rediger battle. A little bit of space between them. A
little bit of space there now, yeah. McDonald's starting to pull away from Ashley there as he
and Hawkins
yeah,
dropped back a little bit after letting the boys through. The rest of the field well back down.
I'll just keep an eye on that gap between McDonald and Melling there, currently 6.2 seconds. We'll see if that does decrease over the next second half of the race.
And every now and then we do get a glimpse of McDonald's car in the background. You can see it here again as they run across the line. Just get a little bit of a F7 going on here. And there's McDonald's car. Ashley Rediger. Very wide into the entry there. From Rediger. Melling doing absolutely stellar job in the Renault at the moment and keeping plenty of pressure on Gil Branson still. So let's just watch Melling there for a little while.
Yeah, a bit of support on the Twitch stream there for Steve-O there, mate. A couple of supporters there saying go Steve-O. We'd like to say go Steve-O as well. It'd be great to see him advance up there, put a lot of pressure onto the back of Ryan. Sure, he can break Ryan's sort of rhythm there if he can get into his mirrors a little bit more. Be good to see that Renault up there, buddy.
It would.
Like we say, it's always just there or thereabouts.
It is.
On the podium, so.
It is. That's right. Says, I just heard somebody rumble across the grass. I wonder whether that was actually Enright or Kenny Simpson there. They have actually tightened right up.
They have, actually, you're right.
Just get out of the front of Enright's car here and look at these two guys here. Really wide entry from Enright.
Big wide entry into one there.
Look at how soft Simpson's car is, bouncing violently across the ripple strips. But very quick.
Look at the power out of there.
Mate, has he got some...
He's got, mate.
He just keep... Look at the pace.
Look at it. See you later. It's just ripped away from that Alpha of Enrights, mate. Out of turn 2 there. Just incredible drive, mate.
That's Gil Branson. He's ranged right up. Both Melling and Gil Branson have ranged right up behind these boys, or at least Enright anyway.
Yes, you're right, mate. Gil Branson is actually very close, within 0.4 of a second now on the back of Enright. And that will take the pressure away from Kenny there as Enright all of a sudden deals with what's in his mirrors rather than the attack mode. He
does. As they both slip through the smoke out of the back of Simpson's car there as he locks up again into Croft.
And there's a lot of rubber from Kenny's car on there.
Lucky that wheel don't touch the ground much. It'd shake your bloody fillings out.
Yes, if you could afford them. Yeah, great stuff. Good to see Ryan. Good to see Ryan put a bit of pressure on Enright here. Oh, as he drifts very wide.
Very wide as we watch.
Is Melling going to compromise on this? Is he going to get him? No.
No, it's just.
Steve-O, there was your chance.
That was your chance, but Stephen had just dropped back that little bit.
Yes, he had to, Dave.
As Gil Branson ranged up on Enright, so really he wasn't in touch, was he, mate? So unfortunate there, but you can see there's a classic example of how quickly things can change.
And that's the kind of mistake that Steve was looking for, but it just wasn't quite there to be able to compromise on that, was he?
No.
A little bit unfortunate from Steve-O. If he could just get himself back up onto the back of that Mondi and hopefully wait for another little error from Gil Branson again.
And as the race rolls on, we still have 14 and a half minutes to go. You still highly likely to see a mistake like that again from someone.
Yes, and we've also got the pit stops too to factor into this, Davo, with these guys are all going to have to, we think, slip in and out. They've got to hit their marks, they've got to take on a certain amount of fuel, so this will determine whether it's, you know, a split second, a couple of seconds. Things should sort of change up here between these guys. Very tight between Melling, Gil Branson and Aaron Enright here. This is for the last spot of the podium, mate, so this is on.
It is, they're racing for keeps, these guys, and they, mate, the whole race, they have nearly been inseparable. A little bit of a distance stretch between the group off and on, but look how close they are now. It's coming to the money time of the race. They will be crunching the numbers. Unlike Gleno, who's got some fresh air, and some of the other drivers that can possibly back off and save some fuel, these guys are racing. These guys will not be fuel saving.
On it, no, that's right. It'll be hammered down, mate. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if all three of these guys don't pit, Farmer. I mean, really.
I think you're right, mate. I think they're going to have to. And just watching that gap back to McDonald now up to 4.9 seconds. So he's made a 1.3 second gain, but really it's taken him a good 6-7 minutes to do that. So probably still a little bit out of touch there to really come into play into this mix.
For sure.
As we watch that car off Enright, super wide before it turns
into one.
Really trying to get a great line through there.
As we see, is that Enright, Ashley Vediger again, super wide, going around the bollards in the left-hand kink of T1. Unbelievable. Super close as we watch Gil Branson nearly tag the back of Enright's car. Very close.
Yeah, mate, that was super close by those boys. Great little battle there, Davo. This is building into something. This is good to see for us. This is the sort of stuff we like to see. Thanks for those that are watching us live for the BTCC Mikado Construction Zero Vision sponsored championship here tonight.
Absolutely, and yes, the ducking and the weaving is exactly what we want to see as Melling gets involved. This is bunched right up, Farmer. Only in one lap, it is bunched right up.
It has, and Melling's actually almost in with a sniff there. If these two guys have a little excursion in front of him, he's right there for the podium, mate. As you see Enright again, well wide before he turns into one, taking most of the track out there, really taking advantage of every little bit that he can. And it actually pays off for him there, as he almost makes a little sort of gain on those two through that section.
Yeah, it's an odd little series of corners, and I suppose any gain's a good gain. But look, by the time they get down here to Tower Bend, look at Gil Branson.
He's back all over him, isn't he? Just noticing John McDonald only 3.4 seconds behind these guys now. So he has got the hammer down.
He does. he has got a good clear view of these three guys in front of him.
Look at Gil Branson, mate.
Again, ducking and weaving all over the back of that Alfa Romeo in the Mondeo. And again, tries to duck the thing up the inside. Oh, seriously close, Gil Branson. Really nice drive from Gil Branson. You just see him.
Almost like he had a little thought about that, mate, but he backed out of it.
Didn't he? And clearly Enright covering his line. There's a little lock up there. They came very close to making contact. Melly up for a look. Stevo into the pits.
Let's just see what Stevo does, mate. I'll keep you informed on that.
Oh, look. I think
Gil Branson carries on. That battle was on there, Davo. Stevo has added 5 litres of fuel, mate.
5 litres. That's something we'd expect to see. I think, surely Gil Branson is breathing a sigh of relief to have Melling off his back as he ducks up beside him. Oh, everybody get in this contact.
A bit of a touch up there, mate.
Great dive. Well gathered. Well gathered from Enright. Beautiful work from both of the boys there. Super quick.
Hey, the Mondi's super solid through the apex in the corner there.
He has the blowtorch out tonight, doesn't he, mate?
Yeah, and I kind of feel like he's almost got a similar driving style to myself there, Davo, where you just carry the speed through the mid-corner and it just catches you out because the guy in front just isn't doing what you're doing.
No, he's taking the late apex in and tight out, and the you're more of a kart racer, so you carry that speed all the way down to the apex and through the corner.
And it really catches you out.
It does. It does. And these boys,
super close, mate. Super close
battle here.
Into one, it's Gil Branson. There's a good lock down the inside there, but he just shows the nose, backs out of it. Enright not having any bar of it, mate. He's just carrying on with his normal lines.
I can't move off this battle at the moment.
This is us, mate. This is the closest battle on track, buddy.
Now, as we watch him come down here, he's been getting him under brakes here big time. Now, it looked like Enright went a little bit later there to counter it, but...
And once again, see the mid-corner there on the Mondi, just really carrying the speed there.
Soaking the bumps nicely on that very bumpy bit of circuit here again. He gets under the back wing of that Alpha, and he's really got to duck side to side to wash off a bit of speed. Oh, very close again. Does it look like Enright covering slightly? Forcing that slow exit.
It's super close there, Dave.
Isn't it close?
And I tell you what, McDonald is now 1.4 seconds behind these guys.
And this is going to get interesting.
He is going to come into play with this, too.
Oh, mate, what do you reckon? 1 lap?
Oh, another couple of laps, I think, mate. If these guys put Stevo's in here too as well, don't forget that he ducked out of this right behind the Gil Branson car.
He did. Now, Melling
as we watch Enright again going super wide before he goes into one.
Went a little bit tight on the first apex, which really made him suffer there. Just his entry turn-in was a little bit early, a little bit premature, but...
I think that just the Mondi got a little bit upset there through the chicane.
Through the chicane. Now, we heard Ashley talk about it in race 1. Oh, very tight up against...
once again, the mid-corner speed of that
Mondeo.
Outstanding,
the running is beautiful.
Really great driving from Ryan there. He's really come a long way in this...
look at this thing. Oh,
Look at it. He's
just peppering the back of that car.
I tell you, if he could get past him, mate, I think he's gone. I think he's got pace on him right here. McDonald now, 0.7 seconds. He's in this battle, mate. It's all of a sudden is a 3-way battle, and we've also got Stevo, which I can't help but think he's going to come into play if these guys pit.
Oh, surely these two are going to pit.
Surely. The hammer's been down, mate. How can they not pit?
I'm thinking even bloody McDonald's going to have to pit, because he's chased all the way through this race to get back where he is. You know,
exactly. And he can potentially end up on the podium here, McDonald.
He could.
If he
He
carries
could.
on.
Oh, the Alpha very wide again.
Enright, very wide there. He's recovered it. He's got a cut. He's got a PLP cut for that, Davo.
Oh, mate.
He's kept the hammer down.
What else can you do, Farmer? Oh, mate.
When in doubt, don't lift off. That's the motto.
Never back off.
Never lift off.
What is it? Never stay down. Never back down, never stay down. Let's just get up and punch on. That's what these guys are doing here tonight. This is going to go right down to the wire, I suspect. Ashley Vedica making up the 6, not far behind McDonald. Now, McDonald's move forward will slow from now onwards as he ranges. Oh! Look like... Oh, I don't know, on my screen, looked like there might have been a slight amount of contact, could have been a little lag. Sorry if I got a little bit excited there. But this has just turned into a 4-way battle. 3 Alphas against Gil Branson.
It has, and that's the Alpha of Ashley, mate.
That is Vedica.
Nowhere.
Yep.
All of a sudden he is in this, mate.
Yep.
Oh, Gil Branson that time taking it very wide and also taking a cut.
He's gone wide.
Wide again. Oh, and he must be feeling the pressure on McDonald there in his rapid.
Surely, sure.
Oh, come on, Ryan. Focus forward, mate. Turn the mirrors off.
Turn the mirrors off. And look, turn the name tags off because seriously, depending on who's driving these cars, definitely depends on the pressure that's getting applied. These guys are conscious of who's around them and sometimes really shouldn't be looking. They've really got to look forward.
Absolutely.
And not worry about the 5-6 times champ behind him.
Back again. Right on the
back of that Alpha.
All of a sudden, yeah. Super strong through that section of the track there, Gil Branson.
Super quick in a straight line at the moment. He's getting the Mondeo off the corners really well. We watch again. Look, mate, Farmer, we've got less than 3.5 minutes to go. There's got to be a pit stop.
When do they put it? I know. If it's not now, if it's not the next lap, they're going to go all the way, surely.
I think I've only seen 2 or 3 pit stops so far this race. Melling was one. I think the VTEC came in. There may have been one other so far. These boys keep it all nice and tidy. It's getting down to the business end. They know that. They don't want to make a mistake. They could be getting up in their corner cut numbers. They do not want to make that last final mistake and end up with a drive-through either. So, but it doesn't mean they're not going to stop racing.
Oh, absolutely.
2.5 minutes to go.
2.5 minutes to go. Surely these boys are going to the end now, Davo. I don't know how they've done it. Oh, it'd be so interesting to be able to see their fuel gauges right now. Give us a little bit of insight on what's actually happening.
Yes, well, we're in McDonald's car and the fuel gauge is stuck on 20 litres.
Right.
I don't think that's an accurate
measurement.
No, I think they've turned that off for our sake, so we don't know.
I'm going to say 2 laps to go after this, Davo.
I'm thinking you're right on the money there, Farmer. Only
will they make it? Who's going to put in
44. It's definitely going to be only 1 lap. 2 laps to
3,
go.
4. They're all carried on, mate.
Here we go. Cross the line. It will be 2 laps to go.
We know Glenn's with a nice 3-second lead over Kenny.
Now,
Kenny with an 8-9-second lead on this pack here. So this is where the battle's at.
Yeah, and I wonder, we heard Kenny talking about half-time pit stops. He has not pitted.
He has
Maybe
pitted.
He's been fuel saving behind and a little bit of tyre saving behind Gleno there.
Gil Branson with another cut lap there through the first section.
Oh!
He's carrying on as he cuts back in.
Oh!
Oh no, and he's going to mow the grass on the infield there. Real unlucky from Gil Branson as he loses 2 spots just right there.
Oh, tough stuff from Gil Branson. Oh,
He
mate.
tried to get it up the inside of Aaron, and he's lost 2 positions. And oh, that's so painful. Oh, I hate it when that happens.
He will be
Davo.
dirty. The red mist would have just waved straight over his eyes. He'll want that back, but not.
Now look at McDonald. McDonald
the
has
sake.
got the hammer down, mate. He has slipped through on Aaron. He's taken
Oh,
third
he
position.
went past Aaron. Oh, I didn't see that.
I think Aaron's suffering there, mate. I think he got a little bit rattled there with the touch-up with Gil Branson. Put him off his game, and McDonald's taking clear advantage of that, mate.
1 lap to go.
1 to go.
See
These
that?
guys have got the hammer down.
Oh,
Going
mate.
all the way.
Lean forward, guys, because I'll be interested to see what these guys run out of juice or not.
Yeah, super interesting. We've seen a couple of guys pit.
So Gleno and Kenny out in front, clear leaders 1 and 2. McDonald back in 3 after just slipping past not only Gil Branson, but
Enright
Enright
also
as well.
leading Gil Branson through, and I wonder if Enright
Yeah.
has got a fuel problem there, buddy.
And Ashley through as well. So
Yes.
he's gone from 3rd position back into 6th.
Back into 6th, and he's Gil Branson through quite easily, and he's drifted off the back there. He's got to be.
Oh,
fuel-
and
he's
even
got
Gil,
to be having
even
a
Gil
fuel
Branson
problem.
looks like he's backed off. Oh, these guys are really running it down.
And interesting there, because you really saw McDonald and Ashley put the hammer down on those 2 boys, and I think those 2 were fuel saving.
From way back.
From way back, as McDonald and Ashley were just had the hammer down. They knew they were going to make it.
As Ashley leans all over the back of McDonald's car.
And we've missed Gleno coming across the line there.
We
for
have,
the win, buddy.
sorry
Kenny
guys.
for 2nd place. McDonald and Ashley very close on the lines, 3rd and 4th. Gil Branson for 5. Aaron Enright for
Enright in
6.
6th and Melling in 7th. Look, and Melling, look how close he was behind that group of cars. He pit stopped. He
With
had a
his pit stop,
with his
exactly.
Pit stop, so
Yeah,
it just shows being able to use all of the pedal there, it's actually pulled him back through the field nicely. We have Hawkins and Troy in the VTEC. Hawkins really well done tonight from Max. A little bit untidy race 1, really shone in race 2. Really mixed it with the mid pack there, Farmer actually.
Has done, mate,
from
yeah.
Hawkins. So,
and a great little battle with the
pat
back
on the
here,
back.
buddy, between Pete Aspie, Stoners and Bear Grylls there. A nice little trio just about to come across the line as Pete Aspie prevails out of the 3 of them for the last spot of the top 10. Stoners for 11, Bear Grylls for 12. And the Volvo with
In
the
the
check engine
Volvo
light.
with the check engine
TNF.
light. Yeah, well, I'm sure they've got it on the jacks out the back now, plugged into the computer. So,
No doubt. The heated seats will still be working there as Mule is probably warming himself up on the seats.
yes.
It's a diagnose the problem in
It's
that
the only,
Volvo.
it's like out of everything, that's the only thing that keeps working in them. The seats are beautiful.
Absolutely. Didn't that mix it up, Davo? What a change up there with, what was it, 1 to go, 2 to go there with McDonald and Ashley coming through. We saw Gil Branson try and make a move on Enright. It all came to a bit of custard there.
Yeah, look, I wonder whether, there was clearly fuel issues. Gil Branson backed right off once he got past. I'm sure he was watching his bloody fuel gauge more than he was probably watching his mirror.
Yes.
I just see one of the Alphas literally rolling
It
into
looks
the pit
like
lane
Ashley,
now.
Ashley, they're just rolling
That
into
car
the pit lane there, right,
is
mate?
the new
Yes.
hybrid Alpha right there. Quiet as. Just rolling into the pits. Just out of the top 3, actually, for race 2 there, Ashley. Well done, though, buddy. Great race, and good to capitalise on that little mishap from Aaron Wright and Gil Branson down the back end of the race there. So well done, guys. Well, there you go. 2 pit stops, maybe 3. Only saw 2. some scary stuff at the beginning, as usual. But there we are, people. That's race 2 done and dusted. As the boys roll around the final few cars into the pits as we go to post race interviews. Who have we got first up?
We've got
User
John
was moved
Boy
to your channel.
there, who came through of a lap to go there, managed to slip a couple of positions past Enright and Gilbranson, got himself onto the podium after a hell of a scene on first lap, mate. Well done on your podium, John Boy. Great drive. Great drive.
Good comeback, bro.
Yeah, that was hard work, that one.
It looked like it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what happened down there at 1. Yeah, but that certainly put me backwards. I think I went right to the back, from the front to the back or something like that.
Pretty well.
Yeah. Anyhow, that was the point where I decided to start saving fuel, just
Just in case.
Just start rolling.
Yep.
Got to the halfway mark and made sure I figured at 20 minutes, surely if I had 30 litres left, it was going to be pretty tight.
Yep.
So I actually ran out of fuel on the line. I was a bit worried there about Ash. He made a good charge back, but
He did.
I think Aaron must have burnt up a bit too much at the start, maybe. Compromised him at the end of the race, I'm guessing.
And Gilbranson. Oh, poor bugger in the Mondeo.
Yeah, so that was tricky. That was a tricky one. Enjoyed it though. Unlucky for a few guys coming off and a few mistakes from everybody, but far out.
That's style of racing, isn't it? With this sort of stuff. So
Yeah, look, it looks like you kind of planned it pretty well there, bud. We were watching 13 minutes ago. You still had 7 seconds, I think, to catch up on Gilbranson and Enright there, but
I had the hammer down at that point, bro.
You had the hammer down, yeah. And I think with 2 to go, those guys had a little excursion together. All of a sudden, they were fuel saving, and you were just hammered down, mate. You just literally just rip past them and see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew it was going to be pretty close, and like I said, my eyes were watching Ashley there a little bit at the end because I knew he was probably doing the same scenario as me, which played out for him too quite nicely, I think. Yeah.
Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent, Brad. Well done,
Top
buddy.
night, mate.
Top night.
Yeah, and shout out to Luke. I heard that he couldn't make it for work commitments.
Yep.
So, yep. Ratchet, Luke, you put a really good hard fight there, mate. So, never a nice way to see it end like that. But hope to see you back.
Absolutely. Absolutely, as he will drop back on the points a little bit. But yeah, well done, John McDonald. And hope to see you out there again next week and on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. That Glenn, mate, he's untouchable.
Yeah.
Well, he's from the comms team, mate. I mean, what do you expect, mate?
Just saying.
What's in the water in
Just
the comms
saying,
team?
mate.
So you
Just
match
saying,
those
mate.
match.
There's no water up here, mate.
Look, we sit here and get all the hot tips from everybody. We know what to do when it comes to racing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a problem.
Just,
Oh, mate. Yeah. Watch out. I'm coming for you in the GD3s, mate, just so you know.
Roger that, buddy.
All right, mate.
Nice
well done,
one.
buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Jono.
See you later, mate.
See you, mate.
User was moved out of your channel.
Yeah, look, there's no slugs in the comms box, mate. We all know that.
No.
You know,
No.
We're not
Clean
just
up.
here for shits and giggles. Whoever's watching out there, we do. We do know what we do know what we're doing sometimes.
Some of you guys know how to go quick. I'm thinking a little over it, but yeah. No.
Yeah. Let's just get Kenny down here
Get
for the
Kenny
second
down
time
here.
tonight, mate. That's a great
User was
effort
moved
from
to your
Kenny.
channel.
Second time tonight, buddy. Congratulations there. Good drive for second place there, Kenny. Well done, buddy.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I thought I'd sit behind Aaron. I knew I weren't going to get Glenn, so I just sat behind him for a while, and then I thought, I've got to get around him. Well, get around him, make a bit of gap, and then I slowed back up again and sort of kept a distance. And then I seen Glenn coming back towards me. I'm thinking, was he sucking me in or what? I didn't want to put the foot down, so I just
Yeah,
to
right.
what I was doing. And
So you actually tipped the comms team off there that you were going to pit for tyres at halfway, mate. Were you just, you
No.
just swinging us a bit of how's your father there, or
I actually,
was it, like
What's the
what's the go,
trickery?
mate?
Bit of trickery. It's all smoke and
Eh?
mirrors with Kenny.
I actually set it up to change tyres, and when I'd done my qualifying, I wasn't up the front there, so I'm thinking, oh, that might. And if I knew what was going to happen, I probably would have. I changed it back, no tyres. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
was probably
okay.
lucky
So
I
you came
didn't.
home. How much fuel did you have left at the end
Yeah,
of the
I
race?
because
just
But,
zero, just as I passed the line.
oh,
so
okay.
super tight on the line there, mate.
Yeah.
So-
Because Glenn was
yeah.
sucking me in, he was coming back. I'm thinking, well, I might be able to get him.
Yeah.
And I started giving it to it, and I never seen the fuel go. I was like, oh, hang on.
Yeah, cottoned onto
Take
it.
him off.
Yeah,
good
yeah,
work.
well done. Yeah, looks like a couple of boys behind you there also suffering with a bit of fuel on the last couple of laps. A couple of them took advantage of it behind you, but you had a good gap there, mate, second.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
no,
another solid drive, bud.
Yeah, good.
It was a good night from you, Kenny.
Yeah, no, it's good. That's that'll be good for me points. That should put me up there a little bit now. I was a little bit worried about Steve starting to get beating me times, and that, so I'm thinking I've got to put a bit in. So
Good work, mate. Good work, and that will get you a little bit back on your point situation with one or two boys up in front of you not here tonight. So that should
Just
be
looking at your
good.
points there, Kenny, too, mate. You were only 9 points behind Jake and Stoners there. So Stoners had a shitter. I
Luke
think
wasn't
you
here.
finished, Luke wasn't here. You finished in front of Jake, so you've got the top 3 in front of you on points tonight, mate. So well done on that. You might have elevated yourself possibly into 3rd position in the championship.
Yeah, third or fourth there, Kenny, I'd say, mate.
Yeah. Well
Fourth's
done,
looking
buddy.
good. But,
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have to pull the finger out for the next races and see what we can do with them, I think.
Yeah. No, good work, Kenny. Good, solid performance tonight, mate, and great to have you up in the comms box for both races, mate. Well done.
There's another one for Aztec. There you go.
There you
Yeah,
go. There you
shot,
go,
mate.
Aztec.
Shot. And thank you for not eating during your interview, Kenny.
I
too.
just finished the feed, don't I?
Oh,
So it was a quick feed.
so you did manage to have a feed while you were racing, mate? I thought you would have. Yeah. Of course.
So people, you know what he's doing. He's eating spaghetti bog while he's cutting 24s. So all the new guys out there, pick up your game.
Pick up your game. That's right. You can have dinner and race. Let's watch Kenny. Love your work, mate. Love
your work, Kenny. Good stuff. Hopefully we see you next week, buddy, and you have a good week and do plenty of practice, mate.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
See you, mate.
See.
User was moved out of your channel.
A legend as always, Kenny Simpson.
I know. He's a great fella, isn't he? You know, I've never heard Kenny not laughing every night we've been on here with this game.
Yeah, great character.
Real great guy to have on board.
Yep.
Okay,
so last but not least.
Oh, no stranger to the comms box. I almost feel like we've interviewed this fella enough, mate.
User was moved out of your channel.
It's hardly like he's even left.
I know, we'll drag his ass back in here yet again.
What's going on?
How you doing, mate? Well done again.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Yeah, a lot of fuel saving there, mate. You only won by 3 seconds. What's the story?
Yeah, it's just, honestly, just management. Just decided to just roll out and drive to a number and
had the hybrid alpha dialed in there.
Yeah. Hey, look.
Yeah, nice.
You only have to win by the smallest margin, eh?
Yeah, right.
That's
So
right.
we just heard from Kenny. He managed to eat a bit of spag bowl there while he was driving behind you. Did you get anything sort of on the go there, mate, or do you just simply focus on the racing?
Oh, yeah, he's usually got a drink beside him, haven't you?
Yeah. There's a Jim Beam here, but I don't kiss and tell.
Yeah, Jim Beam, well, that's like bacon and eggs, isn't it?
There's a meal in every fucking beer in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there is.
No, it was very much, I don't know, I'd be interesting to see how it looked from you guys' angle throughout the field, because I think it was very much the guys that were fuel saving and the guys that were going flat chat, and obviously numbers are down a bit, so I don't know how that transpired into a stream, but yeah, it felt like
a numbers game.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we didn't
yes and no.
give you any camera time at all, mate.
Right.
But there was a great battle for
Apologies.
third, second,
That's right.
fourth, and fifth there, with guys fuel saving, Steve-O pitting, Aaron and Gil Branson there had a
Troy
great battle.
pitted as well.
Troy pitted. We saw McDonald and
Yeah,
Ashley
shout
come
out to
through.
the team
So
coming to third from the back.
Oh, mate, he did well. It's elbows out start, as it usually is with you guys on these pommy tracks, mate. You know, they just delivers action aplenty, and yeah, well done from Jono to come back and save enough fuel to run across the line.
Yeah, and shout out to Kenny too.
So
Double
and
podium.
Kenny for doing the same thing. Yeah, Kenny did really well tonight, and deservedly so. Puts plenty of hours in Gleno, as you know, but yeah, top effort, bro. It's good, you know. Like there's a normal, like I said, elbows out at the back gave you a chance to do a bit of fuel saving down mid pack. You know, like the boys don't look like they're fuel saving at all until after halfway. So it's just like it's full blast, you know. So
yeah, it's an interesting way to race too. You know, it's not something that I'd traditionally do. It's not until John sort of alerted me to it a few rounds ago. But far out, it's weird. You know, like I went out race 1 and was burning like 2.1, 2.11. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be close, but it's not going to cut it. Sort of sat on the fence talking to you boys after that. And then, you know, could go as far as 2.03. So making massive amounts of fuel in that race, like huge amounts. And got to the 20-minute mark and probably could have gone a bit harder. But, you know, I kind of just sensed that Kenny and Aaron were doing very much the same as me. And I actually held it at about 2.3 seconds for about 10 minutes. And if they gained a little bit, I'd just go a little bit quicker and then just balance the gap and just made fuel. And it was it's an interesting way to race. I prefer to go flat chat and have a good go, but we'll take it as it comes at the moment.
Yeah, it's almost like you're running a mini endurance race, isn't it? Watching the fuel and watching the other competitors on track and their times and their gaps. So
and it was a real shame not to see Crompo here tonight.
Yes, definitely.
To mix it up with the boys, that probably is really, you know, with John's couple of good results there. I know he had some issues tonight in traffic, but he came back strong, and yeah, there might be some shakers and movers throughout this championship.
Oh, I think so. I think Kenny particularly is going to get a gain with a few boys missing off the grid tonight. Gleno, and good to see. He was very strong early in the season, and it'll be good to see him come back up the points a little bit. But I think yourself and Jono there have, you know, really getting a handle on it, and you know, rightly so, with the bloody beautiful drives from both of you tonight again. So
yeah, couple to go. So we'll give it
a
red hot dip, mate.
Oh yeah.
And you know, see if a guy can't get this done.
I think a guy can. So good stuff. Well done, Gleno. As usual, mate.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Like I was just saying to Farmer before, it's hard. Mate, you're up here every week. It's almost like you didn't even leave. But yeah, can't wait to have you in the comms box in a few weeks' time.
Yeah,
but,
mate.
Yeah, keep the pressure on for the comms boys and bring that championship home for us.
Yeah. Well, it's one for Farmer too. I know Farmer's probably looking for a solid drive coming up soon. So, Farmer, you got to keep the tradition going, mate.
Oh, mate, we were just saying before that the comms boys are no slugs in the seat, and you know, you've certainly cemented that for me, mate, and put a little bit of pressure back on as I left for you to do in this race, which you've certainly come forward for. So yeah, well done, mate. Congratulations. You certainly cemented this championship, mate, and yeah, definitely a little bit of pressure for myself going into the GT3s, mate, coming up. But,
You're good for it, mate.
But I always cherish a bit of pressure, mate. It's not a problem. Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Looking forward to the stream, and yeah, PS, Paps, I will send that document through to you shortly.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, all good. Thanks, Gleno, for joining us again. Awesome racing,
Thanks for having me, boys.
and we may see you next week.
Awesome. We'll do
Okay,
our
mate.
best.
Thank
Cheers,
Oh,
guys.
bro. Cheers, mate.
User was moved out of your
So
channel.
there you go, Farmer. Round 6, Croft.
That's us,
BTCs.
bud.
Yeah, that
Number
is
9.
us. Another cracker, a little bit low on numbers. Some great racing, though. Some awesome battles throughout the field. Some unexpected podiums. And, yes, as ever, the fuel. We were watching it closely in the main game there again.
We were. And another unlucky Steve Melling too, mate, who was there or thereabouts and just happened to pit and get outside of, the strategy of the rest of the field. It was good to see. It was great to call it with you, mate. Thanks very much, obviously, for those who watched. Thanks to Mick and Do Construction for sponsoring this championship. Thanks to Zero Vision for all their technical help. Another great night.
Absolutely. Thanks, viewers, for joining us on Twitch or wherever you join us. And yeah, we'll be back next week for round 7 at. Let me shuffle some paperwork here.
I'm going to just step in there, Davo, and tell
thank you.
that we're going to Thruxton there.
Thruxton, man, this track has the highest average top speed of any track in the UK.
Is that right? Okay, interesting, Davo. So that means that these guys are really going to suck the fuel.
Mate, it is flat chat nearly all the way. That will be a cracker.
Excellent.
So no prisoners there. I can't wait. Farmer can't wait. I hope you guys can't wait. And we will see you next week. Thank you very much, Farmer.
Thanks, mate. Cheers, Davo. Thanks for watching.
Good night, everyone.